Hey everybody, it's Alex over at Jet Lending, and today what I am here to remind you of is the 2024 Economic Forecast Panel with Mark Dotzour. I am putting this registration in the chat. So what is this? All right, so next week, next Thursday, April 11th, at 6 o'clock at the Moran City Center, Mark Dotzour is the keynote speaker going over everything real estate economics and what's going on and what's trending. He's got a great panel with him. Joni Wolfswinkel is going to be there, Trey Stone, Steve Rosenberg, and Julie Hartman. And they're going to go over everything, what is going on with the economy, what to prepare for in 2024, projecting in 25. All right, so why is that important to real estate investors? Well, as you guys probably have noticed, when Jet Lending would have Mark Dotzour on, he would go over some great projections and ideas about what was going on in the market, really put people in perspective on what they needed to plan for and what they needed to do. And it looks like I got Mindy here. I'm going to let her come in and talk a little bit about it. I'm going to add her to the stage. Hey, Mindy.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I was just trying to tell everybody a little bit about the 2024 Economic Forecast Panel with Mark Dotzour as the keynote speaker. Mindy, you know what, just in case, I mean, I don't know why they won, but look, if you don't know who Mindy is, tell them a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Yeah, first off, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I am actually filling in for somebody that many people probably know, which is Natalie Pilkington. And so she has been helping with this event and getting it started. She is our CFO over at Equity Academy. I am our COO. And it is just a pleasure to be here. And it's also a pleasure to be a part of this event that we are going to be doing at next week at the Hotel Moran with Dr. Dotzour being the featured speaker. And you know what, Alex? A lot of times, and I know you asked me to tell them about me. We can talk about me in a minute, but somebody might have just tuned out because they're like, economics? Do I really want to listen to somebody and just like, you know how you're like, you get on your phone and you're like, oh, I'm ignoring what they're saying. I'm falling asleep. If you've never seen Dr. Dotzour speak before, you're missing out because this guy, he tends to get it right more than he gets it wrong. You know, like you listen to the weather, Alex, and oftentimes it's like a crapshoot if it's going to be right or if it's going to be wrong. Well, with Dr. Dotzour, he tends to be pretty on point. So it's not just about real estate, which I know many of your listeners are very familiar with and want to know more about. So you definitely want to tune in there, but it's also about business. And I'm sure you have a lot of business owners that are listening to this and, you know, what he really sees that's happening. From what I've heard, he doesn't have a lot of political affiliations. He doesn't care which way you go. He is equally opportunistic on taking advantage of both sides and making fun of them in the nicest ways possible. So when I say you will hopefully have some entertainment, you will, but it's not just about Dr. Dotzour. There are also several industry experts from different industries that are going to be on a panel, which the folks that are attending the actual event next Thursday, April 11th, they will get to ask them questions. And I don't know about you, Alex, but with my schedule, with Natalie's schedule, with the team over at Jet Lending schedule, do you ever wish you could have a virtual assistant?
Yeah, I mean, I want one right now.
I do too. Like, I feel like I need one right now. So with a virtual assistant, so one of the panelists, her name is Joni, and she not only owns or works with a property management firm, she also has a virtual assistance business. And I have been on a back end group with Steve Rosenberg, who is a business coach and a very well-known real estate person, who I'm seeing them talk about the benefits of having a virtual assistant and how to make that work, you know, for different budgets. And so Joni's going to be there. Trey Stone, for any of you that know or have heard of Trey Stone, he is going to be on the panel. And something really cool about Trey, if you don't know him, he got his first rental property whenever he was in his 20s. And he very quickly escalated up to over 6,000 apartment units within the Houston area. And his different investors, he's been able to make them over $137 million, which is not tiny bits of money, right? And so to be able to pick his brain will be fantastic. And then if any of your folks, Alex, I don't know if they're ever interested in government contracts. That might be another way that somebody just hung up because they're like, no, don't want to listen to that anymore. But if they do have an interest in that, you have Julie Irvin, who's also going to be on the panel. So it is a really amazing opportunity for people from all walks of life who want to be successful in business to come out and be a part of.
Yeah, that's what I was letting everybody know. Dr. Dotzour, he used to come and do an event with us every year. And I'm telling you, it sounds boring, economics, but if you know how to pivot in finance and how money's flowing, basically economics, you can pivot in any market, know how to make money, and know what to do. So there is no such thing as buying time and selling time in real estate. It is always about profit and pivoting in the market in which you're in. So this is important information. If you guys want to see really, really skilled people, see how you can organize and pivot your business and try to get where you need to be in the next year and probably upcoming year, this is the event to be at. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Alex, you just said that. So prior to joining Equity Academy, so I worked for another organization involved with Trey a little over 12 years ago. And I left Trey to go help build a business called J. Turner Research, who was a smaller firm in the Houston area, to go and grow it to a national firm. And so I left them to come back to Trey because I truly feel the market is right for investors right now from all sides in real estate, whether it's single family or it's multifamily. There's a lot of things that are happening. There's a lot of things that are going to be changing, and folks that have been sitting on the sidelines for a while. And Alex, even those that got burned when rates went high, both on interest rates as well as prices, and they weren't really in a position to do it, but they wanted to jump in, they might be a little afraid and sitting on the sidelines. But I think hopefully what we all hear from Dr. Dotzour is that what I see coming, and I have no crystal ball, Alex, we probably wouldn't be sitting here. We'd be in Tahiti or Bora Bora somewhere if we did have that crystal ball. I think listening to him might give those people who've been sitting on the sidelines for a while and waiting just that extra oomph to go forward and just do it. I hope so anyway.
No, I agree. I mean, everybody got scared of rate. And what happens when the rates are going to go down? Prices are going to go up. And I would actually rather have a higher rate with a lower price than a lower price with a higher rate. Or a higher price with a lower rate. I'd rather buy it now than when everything's going to go up. It's going to I think it's going to make COVID look silly. So, so it's at the Moran City Center. It's on April 11th, starts at 6:00. But I mean, what goes on? Like, let's say, okay, Mindy, you got me. I'm coming to see you guys. I want to be there. What do I expect? Like, I'm walking in the doors. What happens?
Yes. So what's going to happen is first, you're going to have some networking. You're going to be able to come out and be around others, and you're going to hopefully see a lot of familiar faces, but you're going to see some new faces. They're going to be passing around some hors d'oeuvres and cocktails. I also always like to be all inclusive though, Alex, cocktails, mocktails, of course, for those that are there. And then we're going to have a panel discussion for some of the individuals that we talked about earlier. And then you're going to have your keynote with Dr. Dotzour, and we're going to have a Q&A. So there are some folks that are listening right now that are thinking, okay, something that she said early resonates with me. Am I actually going to get to ask questions? And there will be Q&A. Alex, I don't know about you. Sometimes you go to these sessions and you want to ask something, but you're never allowed that opportunity. So in the beginning, to be around like-minded individuals, and then also in the end, or in the middle, get all the information. And in the end, there's time for that Q&A, which to me can sometimes be the most valuable information that you receive. Oh,
definitely. Because it always takes the courage of that one individual to actually ask the question everybody really wanted to know. And don't get me wrong, like the content's great, but it's like, I got a specific question. Like, you know what? I never thought of that. It's getting with that again, that like-minded people, and getting into figuring out, how can I do this better? How can I do this more efficiently? And this looks like, on April 11th, next Thursday at 6:00 at the Moran City Center, it looks like this is the place to be. You get to go in. So listen to what she said. You get to go in, to have something to drink, have a little bit something to eat. network with a bunch of people, have Dr. Dotzour and a panel of really, really seasoned experts in the business telling you everything that you need to know in what you can pivot and get into business, how to project. And you are getting this all next week. I mean, why wouldn't you go? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Dotzour coming out, he has, from what I've heard, and I will always be very transparent with everybody that asks me a question. I personally am telling you things that I've heard. Alex, I haven't seen him speak. And so the things that I talked about earlier, I'm excited about because this is what I've been told. He typically sells out events. They have him out a few times a year. You said you've worked with or been a part of something that he's done in the past. And so to be able to come out to the Hotel Moran and sit there and absorb this information and see if your gut instinct is correct, and to be able to move forward with that information, but also not just from that, but like you said, being able to ask those questions that maybe weren't answered within the presentation, that's hugely valuable. And I oftentimes, just like you, learn more from the questions and from the audience and from the networking than I do from the presenters, but the presenters are pretty darn spectacular.
I agree. I mean, it's a great group of people. You're going to be learning quite a bit. Now, there's one caveat to this for those that are saying, "Oh, neat, I want to go." Only 200 people can come to this event.
Yes.
So, I suggest you sign up like now, kind of thing.
Like now. And then, I mean, come on, somebody's like, well, then why are you having to do a podcast on it? This is the first time we agreed to do it. We really weren't promoting it at all. So, I mean, we were promoting it through a few things, but not really like a mass promotion. And so I don't know how many folks are watching this right now, but this is the first time we said, hey, this is actually an event that we're promoting. And then on our radio show for Equity Academy, we're going to start promoting it too. So we wanted to give your people, Alex, the opportunity to get in, to get the link from you so that they can go in and purchase their tickets, because we would love to have them out there. I would love to meet everybody. I'll be there. You're going to be out there. Natalie's going to be out there. I'm sure there's a few folks that that people that are listening right now will be like, oh yeah, I want to go been there too.
Yeah, excellent. So what you guys, every time, so in the body of our post, you have the links to sign up. In the chat comments, you have the link to sign up. If you guys have any questions at all, you can always chat there. We'll answer your questions, get everything going. Mindy, do you have anything else that you want to add to everybody before we leave today?
I just want to say I hope I get to meet you all either here or at some point in time. And I can't wait to meet you in person, Alex.
Awesome. Well, I'll be there next week, and hopefully we'll see everybody else that's watching there next week too. Mindy, thank you so much for your time. Event that's going to happen next week.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody.
Have a great day.